Hey guys, Toxic here with TGN, and this is the 4.3 Dragon Soul boss, Warlord Zon'ozz 10-man. What's going on guys, Toxic here, and today I'm bringing you a fight from the 4.3 Dragon Soul instance. This guy's name is Warlord Zon'ozz. Now before we get into this, I just wanted to say sorry for the quality of this video, the black bars on the side, just due to the fact that I brought this off of my stream, and we had some issues, or at least I had some issues getting it from the stream onto here, so that's why the quality's a little shoddy, and there's the black bars on the side, so sorry for that. Let's get in this boss, though. So I'm going to go over this guy's mechanics real quick, and then we'll go over the strat. Focused Anger. Warlord Zon'ozz increasingly focuses his anger and rage, increasing his physical damage done by 10%. This affects stacks. Psychic Drain. Warlord Zon'ozz channels a wave of psychic force in a 30-degree cone in front of himself, inflicting 120,000 shadow damage and leeching life for 10 times the amount of damage dealt. Disrupting Shadows. Warlord Zon'ozz covers random players with a Disrupting Shadow. This effect inflicts 30,000 shadow damage every 2 seconds. The shadows also knock back the targeted player if the effect is dispelled. Void of the Unmaking. Warlord Zon'ozz summons a Void of the Unmaking. This void travels forward until it encounters a soul to absorb. Void Diffusion. When the void collides with a player, it diffuses, inflicting 500,000 shadow damage split evenly between nearby players. The force of this diffusion causes the void to ricochet in the opposite direction, and the absorbed souls increases the damage the void inflicts by 500,000% per diffusion. When the void collides with Warlord Zon'ozz, it inflicts a distracting shock to him. The void diffusion increases the damage Zon'ozz takes by 5% for every time the void of the Unmaking bounces between players. This collision enrages Warlord Zon'ozz, causing him to awaken the Maw of Gorath and lose his focused anger. Black Blood of Gorath. Warlord Zon'ozz inflicts 10,000 shadow damage every 1 second to all players for 30 seconds. In heroic difficulty, each tentacle of Gorath inflicts 300 shadow damage every 1 second to all nearby enemies. The damage is multiplied by the number of tentacles alive. Alright, so now that we know what the boss can do, let's go over the strat here. So as you guys can see, there is a big orb that is running around. That orb is the Void of the Unmaking. Now, as you can see from what's going on right now, the whole thing is black, right? Everything's black, we're taking a bunch of damage. So this is what happens when you get that orb and it hits Zon'ozz. Now, he's going to run to the middle here, and he's going to start doing that 10,000 damage every second. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to stack up for this, throw down, if you have a Disc Priest, throw down a bubble, make sure everybody lives. That's the whole point of this. Now, this was on the PTR, so we did have there was a little hiccup in the fight where the tentacles didn't spawn. So that was just a little extra damage that didn't happen. But to be honest, it probably wasn't going to make or break the fight for us, considering it's not that much damage. So that wasn't really an issue. So as you can see here, he's spawning another orb. Keep in mind, he's always going to do this orb in front of him. And also, for what I said, for, every time it diffuses, the void diffuses, so basically when it hits a player, I believe that was for 25-man, because what we had me do was actually get the first bounce, just to make sure that the ranged were able to get over there. So, what I did was, basically I had to tank the boss away from everybody, so that when he did his frontal cone, it wouldn't hit anybody and heal him for a bunch of health. And also, I had to heroic leap in front of that orb to make sure that it would bounce towards the range, because that way they didn't have to worry about being in front of the boss and getting hit by that frontal cone. That way I could just take it, it would go straight back to them, and then we can either hit it by the boss, hit it right back into the boss, or we could bounce it again and again and, eventually get it back into the boss. So what we did is we did 2 bounces before we threw it into the boss. So that would be 10%. Every time, 10% increased damage to him every time it hit the boss. So you want to try to keep it around 2 to 3. It depends on your guild, depends on what they like to do. But we decided to do 2 because 3, the void would hit really, really, really hard. So tanks, you guys just want to make sure that you're not tanking him towards anybody in the raid. The raid needs to make sure that they're behind the boss, so they don't get hit by that that frontal cone. Also, as for the void, you guys need to make sure that that first bounce gets hit by somebody, whether it's your tank or you actually have somebody over there. We decided to do it with me as the tank. Once again, it could be done by somebody else. Also, for that second bounce, you need to make sure that you have at least a couple people over there so that when it does get hit, you're not like, you know, basically killing somebody. The only reason I could take that first orb is because I have the health that I do. Keep that in mind. So guys, I just hoped you guys, I just wanted to bring you guys this video, this 4.3 boss kill of us on Warlord Zon'ozz. This fight was pretty much a joke, took us about 3 attempts to kill. So I hope you guys had an awesome time watching this video. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace out.